everybody. Good afternoon. I am the LRS supervisor in the office of OTSM and manage all of the LRS data that you see in SDW. My team updates that information, and I also have been ArcGIS Online administrator for since ArcGIS Online was started. So I'm gonna give some updated guidelines. Gonna go over a little bit of policy. Try not to bore you too much, but then I'm gonna get into the process of how to publish an application. If you haven't gone through it before, it's nice to hear what the process is. And I know some of you on this call have gone through that process, so we can always take questions at the end on how we can improve that process. So let me get started here. Let's see. There we go. A little delay. The first thing is for the user profile. We are required now to have MnDOT employees put in their full name and the office and district name. For external users, I guess that's always been a policy for MnDOT employees, but the new information is for the external users. We need to have their full name, their phone number, the project that they're part of. My example here is rail grade crossings. That's been a project in the past where external partners have helped out. The MnDOT contact for the project that they are helping out with, include the phone number, the name of the company or the county or the municipality that they're working for, and then the expected duration of the project. Now, when a project's finished, the data and apps will be transferred to a MnDOT employee. That also happens when the contractor leaves the company. We'll transfer those assets to a MnDOT employee. The ArcGIS Online administrators require that the user profiles must be filled out completely, and in our guidance, we have that a failure to do so within 30 days of the account will result in an account deletion. Now, we won't just cold cut you off, but we'll give you a few reminders before we end up doing that. If you have not used your ArcGIS Online account in the past year and you don't have any items associated with your account will be subject for deletion. And then you just have to you would have to request a new account in the future. Okay. So next one is working with hosted data. One of the guiding principles is identify which layers of information are already hosted by MnDOT, another state agency, MnGeo, DNR, DHS, etc., or ESRI, some other organization with the authoritative content. If you have some unique data layers that are unique to your map or application, there are several options for making that data available in the ArcGIS Online environment. One is a hosted feature service, and that could be from ArcMap or ArcPro. You can add items from a user's content page. You can add shapefiles, CSV, text, GeoJSON or GPX files. And then you can also create data within ArcGIS Online. Credit usage. The new users and existing publishers are limited to 50 credits. Currently, according to the last 30-day credit usage report, data storage we've burnt around 170 credits per day from our organization account. So at this rate, we need to double the amount of credits we receive each year from ESRI, which is currently 30,000. And I know Charlie talked about it a little bit this morning, and I'll talk to you about our guide. What we have here is guidelines. So additional credits will be allocated on a case-by-case basis. The admins reserve the right to limit data storage per application or office. The admins reserve the right to cap credits for offices or certain individuals who are abusing their allocated credits. And again, this is a case-by-case basis. And then the data consumers exceeding the cap limit must pay for additional credits. Charlie discussed this earlier this morning with more details forthcoming, but the general takeaway is that existing offices who are using ArcGIS Online services will split a percentage of the total available credits when the new rollover starts for ArcGIS Online. So I think we're gonna get a new batch of credits with the ELA, and then that'll be distributed appropriately based on the existing offices that are using that data. This doesn't mean that new offices can't come into the mix, but that will just have to be adjusted when new offices start using ArcGIS Online. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about the publishing guide. One of the things that we ask you to do is fill out this detail page and metadata information. You want to have a title. So that's, I use this example. This is a good one that was created recently, Reduced Conflict Intersection Safety Evaluation by Max Moreland from this morning. So this was a good details page that he had put together. A summary, which is the top, the impact of reduced conflict intersections on traffic crashes in Minnesota. That's the summary. Description can be a little bit longer. That gives various information about the data, where to find the data. He's got some links in there. Then we have a standard terms of use, and that can just be copied from existing applications that you see, or we also have this out online to copy for the spatial data. There's tags, and you want to put in tags that are appropriate for the application that you're using. So he has, you can see these tags in here: transportation, official MnDOT, RCI, traffic safety. So very good tags that are appropriate for his application. And then any credits that you want to give to people, and he has some credits down here. The next one is data quality. And we review all content and tools, making sure that they're accurate, the functional, usability, and efficient, using plain language, removing unused fields. That's a big one. This isn't really a big issue, but a spatial reference information. Most people are using a common projection of Web Mercator. So that one we don't get very many issues with. Distribution information within an application, it's not required to include a download widget, but if there is, it just has to be working. Okay, so next slide. So additional information, accessibility must comply with the Federal Americans with Disabilities Act. We'll also consider simple design, color schemes, and geometry, adjustable text size, alternate text for images, readability of fonts and annotations. We'll get into design standards. We'll look at the existing design standards of the geometry and design recommendations published by the GIS Standards Committee. A thumbnail is also required. Data redundancy. Basically, do not duplicate data, or try not to duplicate data. I know people aren't going out there to do it purposely, but it's just important to just do your due diligence. Look at confirming your data is not already published, and that can be hard sometimes. So I know that's not always possible. So use published services wherever possible. For data governance, consult with the MnDOT business data catalog to confirm the data is classified as public. Consult with data stewards or owners for approval of publishing their data. That's an important one. If you're using data and it's not your own data, it's always good to consult with the business owner to let them know that, hey, I'm putting your ADT information in my application. Are you okay with that? And making sure you're using the correct data. And then tools and widgets. Review of all tools and widgets. We just look at all the functionality, splash screen, the buttons, dashboard, etc. Okay, moving along here. Here's the overview of the review process. We first need you to submit an email request to pound DOT ArcGIS online review, and when that's sent to us, that kicks in motion a review process where a lead reviewer is assigned, and then a team is formed to review your application. And these are for applications that are going to be made public, not necessarily for internal applications. If it's internal only, we don't have as a rigorous review process for internal only applications. This is specifically for external only applications. So that content, as we move into number 2, that content is shared with the MnDOT ArcGIS online review group. It is then reviewed against the guide that I just talked about. We, as the committee, provide comments and action items for the creator, and then the creator, number 4, addresses the comments and the action items. And then finally, after it's approved and changes are made, we copy and change the ownership to the MnDOT GIS user account. This is to show that the account is authoritative. That's the main idea there. It's an authoritative application, and it's not just from someone's personal account. I know there are a couple that are out there that are public that are from people's personal accounts, but in our preferred process, we want to change it to the MnDOT GIS account, and then it gets shared publicly. If you can, I know these presentations will be sent out later. I'm not going to go over this in great detail, but these are this is the details of the web app review. So you can take a look at this, and I also put a link to iHub GIS/standards MnDOT ArcGIS online document. So take a look at it. All this information's in this document. It's so important that you take a look at that when you're going through the process, because you could take a look at my presentation, but it's not going to capture all the details. The administrators, you can see the administrators here and the MnDOT administrators, and all these people are on the committee to help out with application review and creation for questions as you go about your application. So I think I'm right at 2:15 right now, and I want to thank you all. My graphic isn't working, but that's okay.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. Really quick, if it is a quick question, Mike, he had a question about Mike's asking about AGOL viewer only accounts. Mike, do you want to expand on that a little bit?
Oh, I thought I heard you say that things were going to be marked for deletion, but maybe that was just for applications.
That's only for applications, or it's only for users that haven't used their account in over a year. But if they have applications tied to their account, we wouldn't just blindly delete their account. We'd have to take a look at what's in the account. If that application is being published and shared out currently, then we'd have to just talk to that person a little bit more if they're not maintaining it anymore, and not just, we wouldn't just blindly delete the account if someone hasn't logged in a year.
Okay, we have staff in our office, in our unit, that are getting accounts just to access dashboards and applications, but I suspect they would be using that account to access them at least once a year.
Yeah, if they're viewer accounts and they're not creating anything, I mean, we do have quite a few users, and we're not hitting the threshold right now of our maximum, but it is in our guidelines that we need to start removing people when there hasn't been usage in over a year. So that's if they don't have any applications, then we would more or less delete their account, but we might just send out a courtesy email, say, hey, are you still using this account, before going ahead and removing their access.
Thanks, Jesse.